He woke up at 5:30 every morning, not to check his phone, not to scroll through the news, not to rush into the chaos of another day. He woke up with intention. He woke up with a ritual. And that ritual, practiced without fail for decades, transformed him from a man drowning in debt and self-doubt into one of the most prosperous teachers of the human mind the world has ever known. His name was Bob Proctor. Before he became the legend millions came to know through The Secret, before the sold-out seminars, the best-selling books, and the lives changed across every continent, Bob Proctor was a 26-year-old man with a grade 9 education, a mountain of bills, and no clear path forward. He had nothing except a book. A single book placed in his hands by a mentor who saw something in him that he couldn't yet see in himself. That book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And every single morning, before the world could tell him who he was, Bob sat down and read it. He studied it. He let it rewire him. What happened next wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was the inevitable result of what happens when a human being learns to align their conscious thoughts, their subconscious beliefs, and the infinite intelligence of the universe, every single morning, before they do anything else. The morning ritual is not a suggestion. It is the foundation. It is the difference between a life spent reacting and a life spent creating. Bob Proctor knew this with every fiber of his being. And now, in this video, you are going to learn exactly what he did, step by step, so that you can begin attracting money, abundance, and opportunity into your life starting tomorrow morning. There is a moment, right at the edge of sleep and wakefulness, that most people throw away. They grab their phones. They check messages. They let the outside world pour in before they've had a single chance to set the tone for their own day. Bob Proctor called this the greatest mistake a person can make, and he spent over 60 years teaching people how to stop making it. Bob believed, no, Bob knew, that your morning is the most powerful window of your entire day. The reason is rooted in science as much as it is in spiritual law. In those first moments after waking, your brain is still cycling between the theta and alpha wave states. Your subconscious mind is wide open, like a field freshly tilled and ready for seeds. Whatever you plant in that soil in those early minutes will grow. The question is whether you are planting deliberately or by default. Most people plant by default. They wake up anxious, scroll through fear-based news, run mental lists of problems, and wonder why money seems to always flow away from them. They don't understand that they are programming themselves, every single morning, for scarcity, stress, and struggle. Bob Proctor's morning ritual was the opposite of that. It was a carefully constructed sequence of mental, emotional, and spiritual practices designed to align the individual mind with the laws of the universe, specifically, the law of attraction and the law of vibration. He taught that money is not a physical thing you go out and earn through force. Money is energy. It is a frequency. And if you want it to flow toward you, you must learn to vibrate at the frequency of abundance. And you must do that work first thing in the morning, before the world has a chance to drag you back down into the frequency of lack. In this video, we are going to walk through 7 powerful morning practices that Bob Proctor taught, lived, and swore by. These are not theories. They are proven tools used by some of the wealthiest and most fulfilled people on the planet. If you apply even one of these practices consistently, you will begin to notice a shift. Apply all 7, and you will wonder how you ever lived without them. The morning is waiting. Your new life is waiting. Let's begin. Bob Proctor began every morning the same way, not with movement, not with words, but with feeling. Before he opened his eyes fully, before he reached for anything, he lay still and called up the feeling of gratitude with every ounce of emotional energy he could summon. He taught that gratitude is not a polite exercise. It is not a feel-good habit for optimists. Gratitude is a vibrational frequency, one of the highest frequencies a human being can occupy, and when you enter that frequency first thing in the morning, you are sending a signal to the universe that you already have much to be thankful for. The law of attraction responds to feeling, not words. You can say, "Thank you," 100 times with no emotion behind it and nothing will shift. But when you genuinely feel grateful, when your chest expands and your body relaxes into appreciation, the signal is real, and the universe must respond in kind. Bob would mentally scan everything in his life worthy of gratitude: his breath, his body, the roof over his head, the loved ones in his life, the opportunities ahead, and the money already flowing to him, even if it hadn't arrived yet. He gave thanks for it as though it were already real. This practice is rooted in what scientists call neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated thought patterns. Gratitude in the morning literally rewires your brain to look for evidence of abundance rather than evidence of lack. When your brain is trained to seek abundance, it finds it. When it is trained to see scarcity, it finds that instead. The morning is when that training happens. Bob never wasted a single morning without planting the seed of gratitude first. He recommended spending at least 5 minutes in this state, not rushing through a mental list, but dwelling on each point of gratitude until the feeling is real and palpable. Feel it in your body. Let it warm you. That warmth is the vibration of wealth being magnetized toward your life. Write this down and tape it beside your bed. Before I move, I am grateful. Let it be the first thought your conscious mind greets the day with. The subconscious is listening, and it will organize your entire day around that frequency. Bob Proctor said, "The amount of money you attract is always in direct proportion to the definiteness of your vision, the fixity of your purpose, the steadiness of your faith, and the depth of your gratitude." Gratitude is not the final step. It is the first. Start tomorrow morning. Lie still for 5 minutes. Feel grateful for your life, your potential, and the money that is on its way. Do this every day without exception. You are not just changing your mood, you are changing your magnetic field. Bob Proctor carried a goal card in his pocket every day of his adult life. It was a small index card with a specific financial goal written on it in the present tense, as though it were already true. He read that card every morning with full emotional conviction, and he credited it as one of the single most powerful habits of his life. The goal card is not a wish list. It is a command given to the subconscious mind. Bob taught that the subconscious mind does not know the difference between something vividly imagined and something physically real. When you read your goal with emotion, your subconscious accepts it as reality and begins organizing your thoughts, behaviors, and energy to make it so. Write your goal in the present tense. Not, "I want to earn $10,000 a month," but, "I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources." This exact phrasing, borrowed from Napoleon Hill, was one Bob used and recommended consistently. The present tense matters because your subconscious mind operates entirely in the present. Saying, "I will be wealthy someday," keeps wealth perpetually in the future. Saying, "I am wealthy," and feeling it, begins the process of making it current reality. Read your card out loud. Hearing your own voice speak the words adds an additional layer of sensory reinforcement. Your ears carry the message back to your mind, deepening the impression on your subconscious. Bob said that reading silently was good, but speaking aloud was powerful. Add emotion. This is non-negotiable. Read your goal the way you would announce the best news of your life. Feel the excitement, the relief, the pride, and the joy of having already achieved it. Emotion is the fuel that burns the goal into your subconscious mind. Bob recommended reading the goal card at least twice a day, morning and night, but especially in the morning when the subconscious is most receptive. If you feel resistance or doubt as you read it, that is perfectly normal. Read it anyway. The doubt lives in the conscious mind, the goal is being planted in the subconscious. Over time, as you read consistently and feel consistently, the gap between your current reality and your written goal begins to close, not because of force, but because your entire being begins to vibrate at the frequency of the goal, drawing it in. The goal card is simple technology, but it is profound technology. Millionaires, CEOs, and legends of personal development all trace their prosperity back to a moment when they wrote something down, believed it, and refused to stop reading it until it was real. Write your goal card tonight. Put it on your nightstand. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, pick it up and read it out loud with every ounce of feeling you can muster. This is not wishful thinking. This is scientific programming of the most sophisticated computer ever created, your mind. After reading the goal card, Bob Proctor would close his eyes and spend time in what he called mental creation. He would build the life he wanted to live with complete detail inside his mind, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, as though it were already his. Visualization is one of the most scientifically validated tools of high performance. Studies in neuroscience have shown that the brain activates the same neural pathways whether an experience is real or vividly imagined. When you visualize wealth, your brain literally practices being wealthy. Bob was specific about the details. He didn't just vaguely imagine being rich. He imagined specific scenes, sitting at a specific desk in a specific office, looking at specific bank statements, having specific conversations with people he loved about the life they were living together. Specificity is power. The more detailed your visualization, the more real it feels to your subconscious. The more real it feels, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as current fact and organizes your life accordingly. Vague visions produce vague results. During visualization, use all 5 senses. What do you see around you? What sounds fill the room? What does the leather chair beneath you feel like? What does success smell like in that moment? The more senses you engage, the deeper the impression you leave on your subconscious. Bob taught that the universe is mental, that all physical reality is preceded by mental reality. Every building began as an image in someone's mind. Every business empire began as a vision held with persistence and emotion. Your financial life is no different. It must be created mentally before it appears physically. Spend 10 to 15 minutes each morning in this mental theater. Put yourself inside the scene, not outside it. Don't watch yourself being wealthy from a distance. Be there, fully present in the vision, as the person you are becoming. If your mind wanders or doubt creeps in, gently bring it back to the vision. This is a practice, not a performance. Some mornings the images will be vivid and electric. Others will feel forced. Show up anyway. Consistency is what builds the mental infrastructure of a wealthy life. Bob Proctor often quoted William Blake, "What is now proved was once only imagined." Everything you want already exists in potential. Visualization is the act of calling it forward, aligning your inner world with the outer world you wish to inhabit. Every morning that you sit and vividly imagine your wealthy life, you are not escaping reality. You are building it. You are laying the mental groundwork that must come before any physical result can appear. This is not optional. This is how creation works. Words are not just communication tools. They are programming code for the human mind. Bob Proctor understood this at the deepest level, which is why affirmations were a cornerstone of his morning practice, repeated every single day until they became the dominant operating system of his subconscious mind. An affirmation is a statement of truth that you choose to make true through repetition and belief. It is not lying to yourself. It is instructing your deeper mind in the direction you are choosing to grow. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts and executes. Bob recommended starting with the most fundamental affirmation of all: "I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me easily, freely, and in ever-increasing amounts from multiple sources of income." Say it slowly. Say it with feeling. Say it as though you already know it is true. Repetition is the mother of all learning, and it is the primary tool for reprogramming the subconscious. A thought heard once is noticed. A thought repeated with emotion for 30 consecutive days becomes a belief. A belief held long enough becomes reality. Bob often said that most people have unconscious negative affirmations running on a loop in their minds. Money is hard to come by, rich people are greedy, I'm not good enough. These programs were installed in childhood and run silently, sabotaging every effort to attract abundance. Morning affirmations are the antidote. Create a list of 5 to 10 affirmations specific to money, wealth, and your own worthiness. Write them in the present tense. Write them as statements of absolute fact. Read them out loud each morning with emotional intensity, as though you are announcing something you already know to be undeniably true. Pay attention to the resistance that arises. When you say, "I am wealthy and money flows to me easily," your conscious mind may protest. That protest is evidence that you've found a belief worth changing. The discomfort is the sign of growth happening in real time. Bob suggested pairing affirmations with movement, walking, gesturing, speaking with physical energy. The body and mind work together, and when your physiology matches the energy of the words you're speaking, the message lands more deeply in the subconscious. Oh, not skip this practice because it feels silly or you don't believe it yet. Belief comes after repetition, not before. You did not believe everything you currently believe at the moment it was first introduced to you. Belief was formed through exposure. Expose yourself to wealthy thoughts every morning. Within 30 days of consistent morning affirmations, you will notice a shift in your mood, your opportunities, your conversations, and the ideas that come to you. Stay the course. You are reprogramming decades of limitation. Give it the time and devotion it deserves. Bob Proctor read every single morning of his adult life. Not novels. Not the news. He read books about the mind, about prosperity, about the invisible laws that govern all of life. He called this studying, and he believed it was the most important investment a human being could make. His study list was not long, but it was deep. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen. He didn't rush through these books. He read the same passages over and over, finding new meaning with each pass, allowing the wisdom to settle deeper into his understanding. Bob taught that most people go through life operating from programming they received before the age of 7, programming installed by parents, teachers, and culture that was rarely, if ever, about wealth or success. Morning study is the deliberate process of overwriting that old programming with truth. The laws he studied were not opinions. They were universal laws, as fixed and reliable as the law of gravity, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. These laws work whether you believe in them or not, just as gravity works whether you understand it or not. To work with these laws consciously, which is what morning study enables, is to move from victim to creator. The person who doesn't know the laws is subject to them randomly. The person who knows them can use them deliberately to design any life they choose, including a wealthy one. Spend at least 20 minutes each morning reading from books that expand your understanding of the mind and prosperity. Read slowly. Pause when something resonates. Ask yourself, how does this apply to my life? Write insights in a journal. Let the material live in you, not just on the page. Bob often said, your outside world is a reflection of your inside world. Morning study is the act of changing the inside world so that the outside world must change in response. There is no other order of operations. The inside always precedes the outside. If you don't know where to start, begin with Think and Grow Rich. Read one chapter per morning. Reflect on it. Then pick up The Science of Getting Rich. These 2 books alone, studied with sincerity over 90 days, have the power to completely transform the trajectory of your financial life. The wealthiest, most successful people in the world are almost universally committed learners. They read. They study. They never stop growing their mental capacity. This is not coincidence. This is cause and effect in perfect operation. Every morning that you study the laws of prosperity, you are building an intellectual and spiritual foundation that no economic collapse, no job loss, and no external circumstance can take from you. Knowledge internalized is wealth that cannot be taxed or stolen. Invest in it every single morning. Before Bob Proctor stepped into his day, he knew exactly what he intended to create, not just eventually, but that day. He set a clear, specific, emotionally charged intention each morning that served as a compass for every decision, conversation, and action that followed. An intention is different from a to-do list. A to-do list is reactive, a record of tasks to be completed. An intention is creative, a declaration of the energy you are bringing to your day and the outcome you are committed to producing. It is a conscious alignment of your will with your goal. Bob taught that most people drift through their days, responding to whatever shows up, then wonder why their financial situation never changes. The person without intention is carried by the current. The person with intention is steering the ship. The morning is when you take the wheel. Your daily intention should be directly connected to your larger financial goal. If your goal is to generate an additional $5,000 this month, your intention might be, today I am fully open to inspired ideas, meaningful connections, and clear action steps that move me toward my goal. Feel it as you say it. Intentions work because they direct the reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters the thousands of stimuli you encounter each day and determines what gets your attention. Set an intention and your brain will begin spotting relevant opportunities that were always there but previously invisible to you. Write your daily intention on a piece of paper or in your journal each morning. The act of writing it makes it tangible and activates both hemispheres of the brain. Then speak it aloud. Hearing yourself say it anchors it in your nervous system in a way that thinking it alone cannot. As you move through your day, return to your intention whenever you feel scattered or reactive. It is your anchor. It is the reminder of who you are being today and what you are creating. Bob kept his intention alive throughout the day through brief mental check-ins that took no more than 30 seconds. Notice that intentions attract aligned circumstances. When you genuinely intend to move toward prosperity, you will find that the right people show up, the right ideas emerge, and doors open that you didn't even know existed. This is not magic. This is the law of attraction in operation, directed by a clear morning intention. Close your morning ritual each day by asking yourself, what is the one most important thing I can do today that will move me closer to my financial goal? Then commit to doing that one thing, no matter what. One intentional action per day, sustained over time, produces extraordinary results. Bob Proctor lived by his intentions. He did not wake up and hope for a good day. He decided what kind of day he was going to have, and then he created it. You have the same power. Use your mornings to access it. Declare your intention, and then go build the life you've designed. Bob Proctor was fiercely protective of his mornings. He did not check email first thing. He did not turn on the news. He did not engage in conversations that drained his energy or pulled his focus into other people's problems before he had fully established his own mental and emotional state. He called this guarding the gate. The gate is the threshold between your inner world and the outer world. In the morning, when your subconscious is most open and impressionable, what you allow through that gate has an outsized influence on the programming that runs for the rest of your day. News, social media, and most casual conversations are saturated with fear, negativity, and scarcity thinking. Consuming them first thing in the morning is like eating poison for breakfast and then wondering why you feel sick. Bob was not naive about the world's problems. He simply understood that his morning was too valuable to fill with them. Protect your morning ritual with the same seriousness you would protect your most important meeting of the day, because it is. This is your meeting with your higher self, with the infinite intelligence of the universe, and with a version of you that is prosperous, free, and fully alive. Tell the people in your life that your morning time is sacred. Set your phone to do not disturb until your ritual is complete. Wake up 30 minutes earlier if needed. The temporary discomfort of discipline is nothing compared to the permanent reward of a life transformed. Bob taught that successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Most people will not protect their mornings. Most people will choose the comfort of familiar habits over the discipline of transformative ones. That is precisely why most people's financial lives never change. The rituals in this video, gratitude, goal cards, visualization, affirmations, study, and intention, require approximately 60 to 90 minutes to complete fully. That is the price of a transformed life. Not money. Not luck. 60 to 90 intentional minutes every morning. If life makes that impossible on a given day, compress. Do 10 minutes of gratitude and affirmations. Read 1 page of a prosperity book. Spend 5 minutes in visualization. Do something. Momentum is more important than perfection. Never let a day go by without planting at least 1 seed. Bob Proctor practiced these rituals for over 60 years. He did not do them because he had already arrived. He did them because he understood that arrival is a continuous act of becoming. Every morning is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to align with the life your soul came here to live. Guard your mornings as though your future depends on them. Because it does. Your thoughts in those first waking hours set the frequency you will carry throughout the day, and that frequency, day after day, morning after morning, accumulates into a life. Make it the life you truly want. Bob Proctor did not stumble into prosperity. He built it, 1 morning at a time, 1 intentional practice at a time, with the quiet conviction of a man who knew exactly how the universe worked and was willing to work with it every single day without exception. He began with nothing but a book and a belief, and he turned that into a legacy of abundance that continues to ripple through the lives of millions across the world. The 7 practices in this video are not complicated. They do not require wealth to begin. They do not require a degree, a mentor, or the right circumstances. They require only one thing: a decision. A decision to take your mornings back. A decision to plant seeds of prosperity before the world has a chance to plant its seeds of doubt. A decision to align yourself every single morning with the version of your life that is already waiting for you on the other side of your current beliefs. Bob Proctor believed in you before you knew who you were. He spent his life teaching ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results, not because they were special, but because every human being carries within them the capacity to think, to feel, to choose, and to create. You have that capacity right now. The only question is whether you will use it. Starting tomorrow morning, before your feet hit the floor, before the world gets its hands on you, choose gratitude. Choose your vision. Choose the wealthy, purposeful, deeply alive life you were born to live. Bob Proctor showed us the way. The morning is the door, and it opens from the inside.